What's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another MMA related video. Haven't been doing these for a little while, so decided I would go ahead and get back into it. I'm going to do some predictions for some of the upcoming matchups for the main events for a lot of the UFCs coming up. This one is for UFC 164. Going to be happening August 31st, 2013. And it is between two of the best heavyweights in the history of mixed martial arts, Frank Mir and Josh Barnett. So this is one that a lot of fight fans have probably wanted to see for the last, 10 years or so. I mean, these two guys at heavyweight have been fighting for so long. They've both been UFC champions. Yes, Josh Barnett was a champion. He beat Randy Couture. And he was a monster. Obviously, Josh Barnett's problems in his career have not come from his skills, his technical ability, his strength, his wrestling, striking, anything like that. It's actually been the drugs. The drugs. A lot of people still hate Josh Barnett because of what happened with Affliction. And what was it, like 2 days before the event or a day before, maybe, yeah, 2 or 3, I think, or like just before the fight with Fedor at the third Affliction. He popped on a drug test, and he was taking steroids, and the whole organization of Affliction was shut down as a result. I mean, if that would not have happened, who knows what could have happened with Affliction? Maybe it could still be in business. Maybe it would have gotten bought out by the UFC. Maybe it would have gone out of business later. I mean, you can speculate, but a lot of people still blame him for that. Now, even though, he's had a rocky career with the roids and things like that, and he got kicked out of the UFC originally for that, obviously fighting in Pride, where they don't care about that kind of stuff, and then Strikeforce, where they do, it seems like he's cleaned up his act, and he's still one of the best heavyweights in the world by far. Frank Mir has always been there, pretty much. I mean, he's always been there at heavyweight in the UFC division as a top contender. His, great fights with Brock Lesnar, Nog. I mean, so many great fights. He's really become a big, strong heavyweight, well-rounded. He's got good striking. Obviously, his jiu-jitsu is some of the best in the world. He's got good wrestling now, too. Good counter wrestling as well after fighting Brock those couple times. Shane Carwin, where he got smashed, which was pretty fun. He's been in lots of top UFC heavyweight fights that have been some of the most memorable I can think of in the past few years, especially the ones with Lesnar. So that being said, how are these two going to match up, and who am I picking to win for betting and to do a prediction? This is a really interesting fight. I'm really excited for this one. I can't wait to see it. Josh Barnett is one of my favorite heavyweights of all time, I'd have to say. Frank Mir, I guess so too. Even though he is a little bit arrogant, to be honest, a little bit. He is the right to be. I mean, he's pretty much the most accomplished jiu-jitsu artist in MMA history at heavyweight. Well, him and Werdum and Nog, but we all saw how that went last time. So I guess you could say Werdum and Mir as probably the two most dominant submission specialists in heavyweight mixed martial arts history. So that being said, how's this one going to go down? Obviously, to list off their skill sets, you're going to have to go with the advantage for Barnett in the wrestling, I would think. You're going to have to go with the advantage in submissions, obviously, with Mir. And the striking is where I think it's really going to be decided, because if you think of it this way, Barnett may not want to take Mir down. I mean, he may, because he may ground and pound him, but he's got to be really careful if he gets in scrambles with Mir and if he goes down with him, because of those submission skills and everything, and his ability to fight off his back, his ability to get submissions and scrambles. It's going to be really dangerous, so he might even want to just fight him standing up. This is a really tough one to call, because they both have good stand-up. I think Barnett's bigger. I'm pretty sure he is. But Mir's got some really sneaky striking, too. Really quick striking. He's got that sort of, I don't know what you would call it, like an inside right, I guess, that he's landed on a lot of guys. It's not a hook. It's kind of a cross, but it's kind of like a sneaky inside cross that he catches a lot of guys with. He's done really well with that in his striking over the years. Well-rounded as well. Oh, man, this is going to be a tough one. I do think that Josh Barnett can probably take Mir down. In terms of striking, I'd probably have to give the advantage to Mir. Yeah, because Daniel Cormier did kind of show that Josh Barnett's striking may not be as good as it seemed in some of his earlier knockouts against other opponents. So that being said, advantage for striking, I think, for Mir. Advantage in wrestling for Barnett, and the submissions for Frank Mir. So really, I would have to say that Barnett's way of winning this fight would be to take him down, ground and pound him out, or try to grind out a decision, which, I mean, with heavyweights, decisions are like, you know, you're kind of betting on a knockout, I guess, if you're going to go with a heavyweight or early stoppage. So Mir has more ways to win, but, I mean, whenever you've got a guy who's a better wrestler, you know, they can like GSP, for example, they can dominate in that way. Man, this is pretty close to a 50-50. I think I'm going to have to go with Mir. I think so. Now, the reason why I'm going to go with Mir, just by a little bit, I'll call it a 60-40, you know, percentage-wise, I think. I think the reason why is because Mir has been fighting in the UFC all this time. He's been fighting against top competition all the way through. Whereas Barnett, you know, because of his issues that he's had with the juice and stuff and going over to Pride and switching to, you know, Affliction, these other companies, Strikeforce, and now finally back to the UFC, all this trouble, I don't know if he's been facing the same kind of competition. So as long as Mir comes into this fight healthy, I'd say I'd give the odds to him. I think he's going to take this. So that's my prediction. I think Frank Mir is going to take it. I think Josh Barnett is insanely skilled and everything of the sort. Could definitely win off of his wrestling, but I got to give the slight advantage to Mir, and I'll pick Mir for betting, just because I think he's been facing top level and that he's got more of a chance to catch Barnett in a submission in scrambles, even off his back, or that sneaky inside right or other combinations, really quick striking for a heavyweight that Frank Mir offers. So those are my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think. Who you think is going to win? Do you think I'm totally off? Do you think would you give the advantage to Barnett? I mean, I could see if somebody did because of his wrestling, and he's got good striking too. You know, he can knock guys out too, for sure. So anyway, I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.